Hi everyone, my name is Ambra Hamilton. I'm one of the assistant principals at Liberty Middle School. Welcome to our virtual parent university for our rising sixth graders. The information in this video is going to be the same information that you would receive if you attended the in-person parent university next Tuesday, March 8th. So if you have time to watch this video, you definitely do not have to come to the in-person event next week. However, we would love to meet you if you still want to come. We have a lot of information to cover, so I'm going to introduce you to some important staff members, talk about our school schedule, clubs and organizations you can get involved in. We'll discuss the curriculum offerings specifically for sixth grade, what the registration process looks like for middle school, and then what to do at the end of this video if you still need more help. We have 4 administrators at Liberty Middle School. Mr. Shannon Brown is our principal. Mr. Ryan Foy is an assistant principal who is also our athletic director. He is also over transportation and logistics. Mrs. Tabitha Odom is a second assistant principal. She is over student services and plans along with assessment. And again, I am Ambra Hamilton. I am a third assistant principal, and I am over curriculum and instruction along with registration. If you ever need anything at all, you can email any of us and we'll be more than happy to help you. We have 3 counselors at Liberty, and they are divided by student last name. So Ms. Latif serves students with the last names A through G, Mrs. Smith serves students H through O, and Mrs. Clayton serves students P through Z. You can find their information on the Liberty website as well, and you can reach out to them at any time. Officer Jewel is our school resource officer, and she is here with us full-time at Liberty. So if you see her, make sure you say hello. The basic overview of Liberty is we are on 5 blocks. They're about 75 minutes each and they rotate weekly. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We have 4 lunches and then we have advisory every Tuesday morning. So here's what a typical schedule looks like. We have about 75 minutes blocks. We have a schedule break, usually in the mornings. We have not been able to do that this past year due to some of the constraints with the pandemic, but we're looking forward to getting back to a break soon, hopefully. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see the 4 different lunches in which you would go to the cafeteria to eat. Here's an example of an advisory schedule. So with advisory, that means advisory is like a homeroom class that you would meet every Tuesday morning. It's the first thing, 8:15 to 8:45, and then the rest of the day would be a typical schedule with break being at the end of the day. And again, there are still 4 lunches. So what about this rotating schedule? Well, I promise you it's easier for students than it is for parents and adults and guardians to figure out. However, we have 4 different rotations. The first week is ABCDE. The second week is EDCBA. The third week is BACED, and the fourth week is DECAB. We do this for a variety of reasons, but we know our students learn differently at different times of the day, and so that's our main reason, and we found that students enjoy it. Notice C block always stays the same. That is our lunch block, so students will never change their C block. They will always go with the same class to lunch each day. This is also all posted on our Liberty Middle School website. Teachers post them around in their hallways, so we make sure that our students know which rotation we are on. There are a lot of different clubs and organizations that we want our sixth graders to be involved in. You cannot do athletics in sixth grade. However, we have plenty of other options, from art club to anime to debate, student-to-student rocket team, archery, robotics, chess. There are so many different options for our students, and we encourage you to get involved. If you want to know more information about a specific club or organization, I encourage you to visit the LMS website, and it has sponsor information, when they meet, and what the club is about. All right, so let's talk specifically about sixth grade curriculum options. Language arts, you get 2 choices. This is completely up to the student and their family. Either you're going to be in a standard language arts 6 class or an honors language arts 6 class. So you can decide if you want language arts, the standard, or honors. It's completely up to you. I highly recommend you talk to your student's current reading teacher to see what their recommendation is, because they know your student as a student in the classroom, and they could offer some suggestions. Honors language arts moves at a little bit quicker pace, and it's more outside reading. There is a sixth grade summer reading requirement. This is for all sixth graders. It does not matter if you're going to request honors ELA or standard ELA. Every student is expected to read Restart by Gordon Korman. So we recommend that you go ahead and purchase that soon or check it out from the public library, because this is a requirement to read prior to the first day of school. For Math 6 options, you have 3 choices. You can sign up for Standard Math 6, Accelerated Math 6, or Accelerated Math 6 Math Team. Again, Accelerated Math moves at a quicker pace because they are covering different standards. Math Team requires outside of school practice. There are competitions that they try out for, and they're traveling on the weekends. So there is definitely a different time commitment if you choose to go with the Math Team. Again, all 3 of these options are student and family choice. I do highly recommend that you speak to your student's current math teacher and see what they recommend for your student. Science is easy because all 6th graders take the same science. It's Earth and Space Science, and it's a semester class. It is required. Social Studies is also easy because it's the same class. It's semester and it's required. It will be the opposite semester as your science class. So if you have social studies first, you'll have science second, or you could have science first and social studies second. Let's talk electives. We have a lot of them. I'm going to go into those in more detail, but here's just a brief listing of all the different electives that 6th graders can choose from. So we really encourage families to sit down together and look through the curriculum catalog to see what electives might interest your student. We highly recommend that you try a lot of different types of electives to see what you might be interested in. A lot of these are 9-week electives. So if you don't like it, at least you're exposing your student to new opportunities. And we'll talk more about this, but some of them do require an application. So we will need to dive into that in a little bit. Semester electives, we only have 5 semester electives for our 6th graders. If you are currently receiving gifted services, so if you have a gifted plan right now in elementary school, you could sign up for Innovative Explorations. It's a semester or a year long, depending if you want to take it for just a semester or the entire year. That's completely up to you. We have AVID, which is a recruitment elective. And so if you want more information about AVID, you can reach out to one of your counselors and we'll be happy to help you there. Advanced Theater requires an audition. And so Mrs. Hicks is the sponsor for Advanced Theater. She teaches the class, so I'd recommend going to the Liberty website to see Advanced Theater requirements. And then we also have Reading and Math Labs, which is for additional support for our general education students who might be missing some foundational skills and just need that extra support. If you're interested in those, feel free to reach out to myself or a counselor and we can talk to you about those options. Year-long electives. Yearbook is an application process. You'll need to see the yearbook page on the Liberty website to see how to apply. Same with digital communications. That is also an application process. Look on the Liberty website for more information. Beginning chorus and beginning band. And we'll talk more about those in just a few minutes. For 6th grade, every 6th grader is required to take one world language for 1 9 weeks. The top of the screen shows you a screenshot of what the registration form looks like. You have 4 language options: French, German, Latin, or Mandarin Chinese. So you are going to rank those, with 1 being your most preferred and 4 being your least preferred. We ask you to rank them because you may not get your first choice. It just depends on scheduling and seat capacity and staffing. Then you can also choose how many you want to take. So you have to choose 1. However, if you'd like to take more than 1 world language, you're more than welcome to take up to 4. For PE, you're required to take 1 9 weeks of PE. It'll either be indoor or outdoor sports. You can also take up to 4 PEs as well. It's not required, so you could really take anywhere from 1 to 4 PEs. So if you're a very active student and you really want your child to be in PE for all 4 terms, I'd recommend checking the 4 box. Again, everyone has to take 1 PE. Academic team electives, Green Power Racing, there is an application required. You'll look on the Green Power website on Liberty's webpage, and you'll find the information and deadlines for Green Power Racing. We have Introduction to Chess, Competition Chess, Scholars Bowl, who also competes, and then Science Olympiad, which also is an application that you have to meet by a certain deadline. So again, check out our webpage for that. All of these are also 9-week courses and options for our 6th graders. We have CTE and STEM electives. Computer Science for Innovators and Makers, or CSIM, is a Project Lead the Way class, Design and Modeling, Introduction to Careers in Healthcare, and STEM. So a little bit more about those. CSIM is computer science based. They start coding. It's very hands-on, a lot on Chromebooks, design and modeling. Teaches them the design process. They actually have challenges that they have to design some different projects. It's very project-based. Both of these are very popular classes with our 6th graders. If you're interested in any of the CTE or STEM areas, I highly recommend those. Introduction to Careers in Healthcare is a new class. It introduces terminology in healthcare careers, and so it's a basic course just to get students interested and exposed to more healthcare information. And then STEM is another very much hands-on class. It's a fun elective. They're building bridges. They're doing all sorts of different projects. All 4 of these STEM electives or CTE electives are very popular. And if your student loves to work in groups or partners and just really hands-on, I highly recommend any of these electives. Digital Publishing Tools is a very practical, skills-based class. It teaches students a lot about Google Platform and the best ways to use Google Slides, Google Sheets, Docs, graphic design, website design. It works on their typing. And so this is a very real-world applicable class that we recommend for our 6th graders as well. We have some other electives. For ELA, we have Creative Writing 1. If you love to write, this would be a great option for you. Composition Workshop is more of an academic writing class. So if you feel like your student could really focus on some academic writing, Composition Workshop is a great option. And then Introduction to Public Speaking, again, very real world applicable there, teaching students how to enunciate and volume and confidence, and we highly recommend the public speaking class too. In math, we have 2 options. Math Meets Art is a pretty cool class because it transitions and combines math and art together. They do a lot of shape building and constructing while reinforcing math concepts as well. It's very hands-on and very popular as well. And then Math Explore is student driven. So if your student really likes math and wants to explore math concepts in the real world setting, and it's a project-based class. So the student picks a real world project and this teacher is going to craft the project based on the student interest. So it's very student passion driven. And if your student is very into math, we highly recommend the Math Explorer class. Fine Arts, we have Introduction to Visual Arts. This is a basic foundational art class. All skill levels are welcome. So if you like to draw, we recommend that one. Beginning Theater is our first of 3 classes for theater. So that's also an option. Again, all of these are 9 weeks. Beginning Choir is 1 year. So this is a full year commitment to an elective. If your student has an interest in singing, loves to sing, Mrs. M&M, she is wonderful and she will expose you to a lot of different skills for singing for our beginning choir. So we definitely recommend Beginning Choir. Just note that it is a year-long elective. Beginning Band, and we'll talk more about beginning band, but there's 3 different levels of band: beginner band, concert band, and symphonic band. The majority of our 6th grade students will go into beginner band. So this is the students that may have never played an instrument before or have very little experience with instruments. There are 2 different classes. There's a woodwind class and a brass class. So it depends on which instrument is chosen, is based on the class that you will be placed in. In order to be a part of the LMS band, you have to attend an instrument petting zoo. There is one coming up on March 24th. So that's after spring break. It's in the LMS band room from 4 to 6:30. You need to sign up for a slot because you will come in and try out different instruments. So you can use this QR code right here to sign up for your slot, or you can go to the LMS Band website and sign up there. There are a few electives that require auditions or applications. You have to audition for advanced theater, advanced choir, AVID, digital communications, green power, racing, science Olympiad, and yearbook. So please visit the Liberty website. All of these have deadlines, and so it's important that if you are interested in these classes that you are able to apply and go through the steps and processes before the deadline. Again, if you have any questions, there are specific teachers that are connected to these classes, and you can reach out to them. So let's look at what a sixth grader's schedule could look like. Every sixth grader is going to have math for a full year. Every sixth grader is going to have language arts for a full year. So that's going to take up 2 blocks of your day. Every sixth grader has to have social studies and science. And remember, I told you that these are semester-long classes and they will be in opposite semesters. So then you have 2 blocks that are devoted to just electives. PE is a requirement and world language is a requirement. After that, you have the opportunity for up to 6 other electives. So you are going to be able to fill these like you wish. So let's look at what an example would look like. This is a student sample, could be in Standard Math 6 and Standard Language Arts 6. They have their social studies and science. Then they might sign up to take STEM, Design and Modeling, Composition Workshop, Survey of Latin A. They could have Intro to Visual Arts, Indoor Sports, Intro to Public Speaking, and Beginning Theater. So this is what a sixth grader's schedule could look like if they took all 9-week electives. Now, are you guaranteed all of these electives if you sign up for these? No, you're not guaranteed your top choices because of scheduling conflicts, seat capacity, staffing. We may have to look at your alternates, so it's very important that you put alternates on your list. But this could be a sixth grader schedule. Notice they have Latin A, that's your world language requirement, and they have indoor sports, which is your PE requirement. Okay, let's look at a different example. Maybe they're interested in math team. So they're accelerated math team 6, standard language art, science is in the first semester, social studies is in the second semester, and they auditioned for advanced theater and they were chosen. So advanced theater takes up a semester class. Maybe they're also receiving gifted services and they want to take innovative explorations for another semester. And then they have outdoor sports, survey of German A. Again, those are the 2 requirements of 6th grade. You have to take a world language, you have to take 1 PE, but they want to take more world languages. They want to take more than 1. That is also okay. So they could sign up for survey of Mandarin Chinese A and then introduction to chess. So here's another example of a student schedule for 6th grade, what it could look like. So this one looks a little bit different than one who would be taking nothing but 9-week classes. This one has semester classes. All right, let's look at another example. Let's see, Math 6, Honors Language Arts 6. So you could take standard in one content and honors in another content. That is completely okay. It's student choice. Social Studies and Science, again, separate semesters. Math Explore, they're really interested in math and how to apply that in the real world. Survey of French A, CSIM, outdoor sports. Then they want to sign up for beginning choir. Like I said earlier, beginning choir takes up the whole year. So this could be beginning band here. This is an example of how a year-long elective will take 4 different terms for your elective. So another example of what a 6th grade schedule could look like. Okay, so since we've gone through that, let's talk about the registration process. I cannot stress this enough that the Liberty website has so much information regarding the registration. So I highly recommend after this video that you go to the Liberty website and look at the registration resources because a lot of your questions will be answered there. There is a worksheet in your student's course catalog packet that they're going to get from home. It's going to be sent home from elementary schools. You can also find this registration worksheet on the Liberty website, but this is a great tool for you to fill out together. It's not required, but it's just a great visual aid to help you figure out elective choices and how many terms that it will cover based on semester, 9 weeks, or year long. So you could print one off from our Liberty website, or you also have the printed copy in your packet that your student will bring home from the elementary school. So what you'll do is you'll review the online catalog and talk about different elective options and course and curriculum options with your student. You'll complete the course request form. Both parents and students need to sign that, and then you will return it to your elementary school to the designated 5th grade teacher by March 25th. Then late March, April, LMS counselors will come over to the elementary school, and we will help students input their course request into PowerSchool. This is the most important date, is March 25th. Please make sure that you have those to your elementary school teachers by then. So let's look at resources and what help. So if you have questions, under registration tab on the Liberty Middle School website, it says LMS registration questions. That is a Google form. You can click that and I'll show you, and you can fill out a Google form and ask us anything, any questions that you have, and a staff member, myself, a counselor, someone will reply and reach out via email to you regarding your questions. So what's next? Look at the LMS website, talk to your students about the curriculum offerings, and then turn it into your elementary school teacher. So before we go, I will show you on the Liberty webpage. If you go to registration, here is the tab I was talking about. Have questions about registration, please fill out this Google form, and you will complete this and submit it, and someone will get back to you. Also on the Liberty website, you can see the LMS course registration for 6th grade. You can look over here. There's the middle school catalog as well, and that has all of the information that we've been talking about in this video. So it has all the curriculum offerings for both middle schools. Please ignore these dates because those are incorrect. But if you scroll down, you can see our schedule. You can see core courses. You can see electives. It tells you the length of time. Let me just show you an example here for academic teams. Green Power Racing, 6 through 8 is 9 weeks. There is an application process, and then it tells you what they do in Green Power. And so this is a wonderful resource for you to read over with your student, to look at read these paragraphs and see what the class is about and what they might want to try out. There is also a video about the math course of study, so I recommend watching that video. It'll tell you about if you 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and how that affects your high school. And then also, let's go back to 6th grade. There is an FAQ document here, so you can look at our FAQs, and then you can also look at our fillable PDFs. If your student happens to lose their printed copy of their course request packet, you can download that one there. And then you've watched this video, so you really do not need to come to the Parent University, but if you are interested in attending the Parent University, it is Tuesday, March 8th in our gym at 5 o'clock. We will meet our rising 6th grade families. We will go over this exact same presentation. At 5:45, there's a band interest meeting. And then at 6:30, we'll welcome our 7th and 8th grade families. So if you still want to come to that, you're more than welcome to, but it's the exact same information. Other things on our website that will interest you: under clubs and organizations, I talked about this. If you're interested in anime, for example, you can click on that and it will show you how to join and who is the sponsor. Again, also, if you're interested in, for example, let's look at yearbook. If you want to apply for yearbook, you would go down here to yearbook and you will apply over here, and it will talk about the requirements for yearbook. So please make sure that you read through all of that. There's a lot of different information here. And so if you're looking for band information or choir information, it's under academics, fine arts. So Liberty Middle School bands, chorus, theater, all of that is there as well. So I hope this is very helpful for you. I know it can be overwhelming. I know transitioning from elementary to middle school is such a big deal, and we are so excited to welcome you. Parents, guardians, I just want to reassure you, we are here to support your student in this transition. They're going to be visiting us at Liberty after spring break, so we will give them a tour of the school. They will hear more about these elective offerings and curriculum offerings for core classes as well. Again, we're so excited. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. The Google form is your best option because that goes to a bunch of different staff members and somebody will get back to you. We are looking forward to the 22-23 school year, and thank you so much for watching this video, and we hope you have a great day.